Somebody said, thank you, Jesus. A little bit, just a little bit. When I think of the goodness of Jesus, just lift them hands for a minute. Just lift them hands just for a second. And tell him, Lord, I need you more than anything in the heaven, the earth, or the universe. Tell him you're my king. You're my deliverer. You're my deliverer. You're my healer. And I love you more than anything. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, God is in total control. Say it again. Say, God is in total control. I love you today. Appreciate God for you. Thank you, Jesus. Sorry about that. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But we thank God for each and every one of you. Appreciate God for his goodness, his tender mercy, his outstretched hands. Is anybody glad that God gave you another day? You ought to stand up and give him some kind of praise. Get the reverb down. Get the reverb down. Did you thank God that you're breathing? I said, did anybody thank God that they were breathing? Come on, trouble. God bless you. Give somebody a high 10 and just tell them, say, I'm glad to be here. We love you today. We appreciate God for each and every one of you. Bring you greetings back from Jacksonville, Florida. It's on me, the master. We went to Jacksonville for the homegoing of elect Lady Rosario. Some of y'all remember Sister Rosario. Precious. I'm talking about when I tell you precious, truly precious. And we were going to miss her. Say amen. We're going to miss her. And because she was truly one of the backbones of this ministry. She was truly one of the backbones of this ministry. And she's one of the mothers, so you mothers got to step up. Say amen. She took many, many secrets to the grave with her because she was loyal. If you confided in her, then you confided in her. Nobody else knew that. And she was the type of lady that she would love you no matter what. She helped me raise my children. Say amen. Things that I couldn't do with my daughter, she did it for me. And she was right there. Times when she knew that I was going through, she stood right by my side. She looked at me like a father, even though I was just 3 years older than her. But she looked at me like a father. She didn't do nothing without my approval up until the day she died. Her cry when she couldn't do what she wanted to do was, I failed you, Dad. I said, no, you didn't. I said, you're all right. She said, well, you're not going to use me no more. I said, what are you talking about? She just felt like she had let me down. But I told her, you served your purpose. I told him, I said, I woke up that morning before I went to the funeral, the homegoing, and the Lord spoke to me about a chicken. And he said, you know, it's an amazing thing how chickens, you know, when a chicken lay an egg, Ella warning, the egg don't grow. Whatever size that egg was when it came out that chicken, that's the size that egg stayed. Now, some of y'all seen them big, large eggs, right? And you look at that little chicken. Can you imagine the pain that chicken went through to lay that egg? And then that chicken lays that egg and sitting on that egg because she wants to incubate it because she wants little chicklets, little chickens. You know, Jesus said, I would gather you under my wings as a chicken doth gather her brood. I wanted to gather you. And that chicken lays that egg, and hopefully this is going to be maybe another mother hen, or maybe this may be the rooster of the barnyard. And she's sitting on it just as proud as she could be. You know, chickens, they don't hold their head down, they all heads up just. But somebody comes in and snatches that egg out from under her before the chicken could ever be born. And could you imagine what went through that mother chicken's mind? You done took my child. The child could have been anything, but you done robbed me of my child. But then that child goes somewhere and be somebody's omelet. But the omelet got protein in it. But then finally she lays a couple of eggs, and these little eggs hatch. And she sits there and she's got these little chicklets. You ever been in a chicken coop? Anybody ever been in a chicken coop, see a little mother hen? And she walks around that barnyard with the little chickens following behind her. Y'all seen it? She just looking, feeding them. She done fed them, and they growing, and she got them behind me, you know, just walking. She just proud. Y'all done seen, y'all done been country folk. Come on here. Come on. Come on, Hammond. Come on. Bogalusa, come on. If you didn't have no chickens, your next door neighbor did. But just walking around, just proud of a little chicklets. You know what I'm talking about? But then little chickens get a little size. And all of a sudden, a man comes through the barnyard, snatching her children away. You took my unborn, my unhatched babies and made omelets out of them. Now you're getting ready to take my chickens that I've been nurturing and teaching them how to walk and act, and now you're taking them to be somebody's chicken sandwich for lunch. You make breakfast out of my unborn. Now you get ready to make lunch and dinner. Chicken casserole, chicken sandwiches for lunch and chicken casseroles for dinner. But the chicken, you don't never see the chicken over in the barnyard somewhere in the corner crying. Because the chicken know what it's born for. So the purpose of the chicken consumes the grief. If you had the understanding of a chicken, you wouldn't be sorrowful and crying about stuff, because you'd understand your purpose. Y'all don't hear me? You know that mother calf, that baby, that cows have babies like human beings. Didn't lay egg. I mean, they got to give birth. The umbilical cord got to be cut. And that mother sit up there and lick all that stuff off that, all that afterbirth off that little calf. Y'all don't hear me? And the little calf, you can just see it, little wobbly legs, and she just looking back, you know, all that pain she went through, you know, and looking back, and this little booger trying to get up and walk, and just and she know he, so she nudges him and help him to walk a little bit, y'all don't hear me? So he gets up in a few days, you know, this little booger setting up and all, he's skipping through the barnyard, and she just is happy. That's my little calf. Look at that. But all of a sudden, he gets a little bit bigger, get a little bit of meat on him, you know. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes in the field, in the stalls, and snatches, the thing ain't even grown yet. Because somebody got a hunger for veal. They don't want no full-grown cow. They want some baby cow. So you took my calf. I don't know if it was going to be a fighting bull. I don't know what it was going to be, a breeding bull. I don't know what this thing was going to be, but you took my child from me. But the cow has another calf. Finally, this calf gets bigger than she is, stands by her side. She gets time to get to know the cow. Both of them walking through the pasture talking about, Mama, how good you been to me. But after that cow get big enough, grown, and had time to spend, somebody says, well, Mother, we got to separate y'all. I need some milk. Because somebody needs milk, and somebody needs butter, and somebody needs cottage cheese, so forth. And after they do that so long, then they see Mama and the baby walking in this room. Where I'm from, they don't cut their throat. They walk them through this door, and they hit them in the head with a hydraulic jack. Because Because if you give them time to think and they get scared, then adrenaline goes through the meat and it messes the meat up. So you got to kill them unexpectedly. But look at them. Look at maybe the dad and cow, maybe the cousin cow. Nobody be walking through the pastures crying and sobbing because the purpose consumes the grief. I was born to be on somebody's table. And then you don't never think about it, because when you get the eggs, if you raised up in the projects like me, you understand, and you get some good food. Majority, most folks, project kids, when we eat, we hum. Yep. Some of y'all do the hum. Anybody did the hum? Raise your hand if you did the hum. Come on now, don't be ashamed. Anybody did the hum? I was the only one that did the hum. We used to hum, didn't we? But you ain't crying because the chicken's dead, did you? You weren't crying because you had that chicken sandwich in your mouth. In fact, about it, put a smile on your face there. Or put a smile on your face when you were sitting there eating that hamburger. Wasn't you just drinking that milk and eating Fruit Loops and reading the box? And sometimes you be sitting up, jump around and spin a little bit and dance and turn around and finish eating it. Y'all don't hear me what I'm saying. Y'all remember them days? You sit up and be eating it. Had fun with the chicken, with the cow's milk. Set up in the field on Easter just hunting the little chickens, little eggs, somebody's life. So I thought about it. I said, now this woman here was born with a purpose. So somebody's happy. So much for that. Maybe that might help you come through something. Look at your neighbor and say, quit crying so much. And understand your purpose. To the books of Psalms 119. Psalms 119. Be out of your way in just a minute. Thank you, Jesus. Psalms 119, verse 9. Appreciate my babies from Homer singing. Now, you got to listen to me, because we're in a real, real crucial hour. And, you know, I'd say that all the time. I prophesied earlier during the year, and I told you that the Lord spoke to me and said we were going to war before the end of the year's out. And it's amazing how that God will speak to the prophet and tell the prophet stuff. And God waited, and somebody said, well, getting toward the end of the year. On the 27th, Friday the 27th, Friday the 27th, we went in there and killed 27 of them people on the 27th. Y'all don't hear me? So them folk went in there and on the 27th, they killed days before that, they killed one of the government workers. But on the 27th, they called themselves, we went in there and struck them, so they called themselves going to burn up the embassy. Well, the embassy represents, in other words, what an embassy is that country in the country. You don't have the right. If you're from, do you remember back some years ago when this girl was taking care of a baby and the baby died? She killed the baby up in Connecticut somewhere. And they went to looking for her, but she was from England. They went to looking for her, but she somehow got to New York and stepped in the United Kingdom embassy. And the American people could not touch her because she was in her country. And they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't arrest her. They couldn't do nothing because they didn't have the orders or the jurisdiction to do anything to her, because the moment you step into the embassy, you step into that country. And so finally they sent some representatives from their country to our country that took her out of there and took her to their country. And we still couldn't do nothing about it. You never heard nothing about it. So when you bomb the embassy, you're fooling with the United States. So they goes in there and they strike and they kill 27 people. Well, then you want to top it. You want to give them, But see, God is in control. God don't make mistakes. You go in there and you kill somebody that's really almost like their president. You kill somebody that's like their commanding chief. You kill somebody that literally runs, like, makes the decisions. He's the commander. You kill their top, one of the top, they got 3 leaders. You killed one of the 3. And then you tweet. You have to understand, this is not Iraq. This is not Afghanistan. This is a country that has nuclear capabilities. This is a country that is rich in oil. This is a country that's an ally. Now, this is what's so cool about this country. They're an ally, not just with Russia. They are allied with China. They are allied with 2 big nations, superpower nations. And then you tell them, if they mess with you, you're going to get them in 52 different ways. So now, your boys, thousands of troops. If you come through the airport this morning, you can see them young soldiers. I was just looking at them. I said, maybe some of them will never come back home. I was just looking at the young women and young, you can see they're just young and go and never come back. But I told you that there will be war. And God don't play. You have to listen to me. Lord spoke to me and told me there would be terrorism, but it won't be terrorism as normal. It'll be strategic terrorism. Now, folk don't understand that. Now, you don't have to believe nothing of God. If I tell you God spoke to me, and see, sometimes somebody said, well, brother, you prophesied and it didn't come to pass. Some prophecies, if you read your Bible, some prophecies are conditional. Some prophecies are based on if you do certain things, then this will happen. You understand what I'm saying? If you do certain things, this will come to pass. But if you don't do certain things, then that prophecy don't come to pass. God swore unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that he would give them a land that floweth with milk and honey, right? But then after they went to cutting up and doing all kind of crazy stuff, then God turned around and said, I swear that you will not enter into that promised land. And he killed all them folk. Sometimes God will give you a prophecy, and that thing don't come to pass. It ain't got nothing to do with God. It got something to do with your attitude. Mama told you you was going to 6 Flags. You know Mama don't tell lies. You know, Mama, you ain't never heard Mama lie, but Mama said we going to 6 Flags, but you did something. And Mama said we ain't going nowhere. Mama, you said, we ain't going nowhere. Because something you did changed the decision. It didn't make Mama lie. The condition changed the orders. He said, Isaiah, I want you to go to Hezekiah, and I want you to prophesy to him in the name of the Lord. And I want you to tell him to get his house in order, for he shall surely die and not live. Now, if you really look at the prayer that Hezekiah prayed, he didn't have time to call a prayer meeting. He didn't have time to call, pastor this one and prophetess this one and prayer leader this one, because it's just this is dire straits here. This man turned to the wall, and if you really look at the prayer that he prayed and time it, it only took 8 seconds. Now you trying to say, I can't pray an hour. Tell yourself, if I pray 8 seconds, I'll move God. Man prayed an 8-second prayer. An 8-second prayer. And Isaiah hadn't even got out of the gates yet. Now this is God that said, go tell this man that get his house in order, for he shall surely die. But this man turned to the wall and reminded God of how he lived and how he walked upright and what he done for him. And God didn't let Isaiah get out the gate good. He said, Isaiah, turn around and go back and tell Hezekiah that I've added 15 years to his life. God said, Jonah, leave him down. He said, I want you to go to Nineveh. And I want you to prophesy to Nineveh and tell Nineveh that I'm destroy that nation. Jonah didn't want to go. Not because God's a liar, but he knew that God is a merciful God. He's a kind God. But he knew that if I go and prophesy, if they repent, then you ain't going to do nothing. And then Jonah was a little prejudiced. He wanted God to kill him anyhow. But he didn't want to go. He was running from God. He didn't want to go. But finally he got, after God whooped him to go prophesy and tell these people, I'm going to destroy your nation. He goes and prophesies to Nineveh and tells the people of Nineveh that God is getting ready to destroy this nation. And turned around and walked away. The king said, we going on a fast. Everybody in the kingdom, your babies, your cows, your dogs, your chicken, everybody's going on a fast. We're going to call on the name of the Lord. They set their face to seek the Lord, and God turned around and spared Nineveh. Sometimes God will give you a prophecy. It ain't no lying prophecy because it don't come to pass. Your conditions change the prophecy. Your attitude change the prophecy. God ain't going to bless you, you understand, and you sitting back like the devil. You'll lose that prophecy. Y'all don't hear me what I'm saying? You can have your name written in the Lamb's book of life and get it blotted out. When we thinking that you got a favor with God, man, God will erase you like you don't even exist. See, people think, because I got a prophecy, I know somebody, can't nothing happen to me, because I got a prophecy on my life. Keep on fooling around. Keep on fooling around. Keep on fooling around, and God will show you. Sometimes he'll give you a prophecy just to trick you, just to see if you're going to act a fool. Say amen. I done seen folk that have prophecies on them. I've seen folk die, and then none of that come to pass. Y'all hear me? So it ain't because God told a lie, is you change the condition. If you don't do right, and no matter what you do, you can't change them. I don't care what you do, you can't change them. You can act a fool, you can do everything. You can't change that prophecy. But then there's some prophecies, your attitude, your conduct, change that prophecy and turn it all the way around. Anybody know what I'm talking about? We wrote down. To the book of Psalms. Talk about it down a little bit. To the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 9. He said, wherewithal, right there. What all can a man do? Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? Look at somebody say, how? Wherewithal means how can he do this? What can he do? What is it? What all can he do? Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? How is he going to do this? By taking heed thereto, according to thy what? In other words, you want to cleanse your ways? You want to stop doing what you're doing? Then you have to take heed according to that word. You want to have some church? I'll be out in a minute. To the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 22. But before you go there, go to Psalms 107 and verse 20. Psalms 107 and verse 20. Yeah, anyway, I won't be before you long. It's an amazing thing that people think that they can change God. I've been preaching this for 40 years. Somebody said you've been doing it a long time. I was preaching this 40 years when Sister Stockman and them, and Christian was a little baby. And some of y'all wasn't even born. And I've been preaching this, and it was the truth then, wasn't it? Wasn't it the truth when I used to come up through back up there in Franklinton, when I used to preach years ago, and y'all be running the altars and crying? Was it the truth then? When y'all was little babies and y'all would wait for me to come out the back room to finish changing clothes, and y'all wait for me to come out the door. It was the truth then, wasn't it? It was the truth when y'all was little bitty babies and y'all be just standing there waiting on Brother McCoy to come through the door. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the babies? And I used to hug y'all. Little bitty babies. It was the truth then, right? Well, how am I all of a sudden, in a matter of years, what I said now is a lie? Somebody lied, but God ain't lied. Somebody lied. Somebody lied because God don't lie. That same truth I'm preaching is still in that book, right? How all of a sudden did it become wrong now, but it wasn't wrong then? Because folk done got wrong. And when you get enough folk wrong, then the wrong will seem right. You're going to hang in with folk you understand it's messed up. That's why the Bible said if a man say he a brother and he a homemonger, he a covetous man, he's an idolater, you understand? He said don't run with him, don't eat with him, don't fellowship with him. Because see, if he can come to church and talk about he's a child of God and he living like the devil, see, all flesh need is a cosigner. All your flesh need is a cosigner. And you'll find yourself slowly slipping back into little things. And just one thing after another, before you know it, you all the way out there in the name of the Lord. They got you thinking you can just do anything you want to do. That's all I'm going to teach today, okay? Sometimes we want to jump and shout. Man, let me tell you something. I don't care how much weight you lift. I don't care how much exercise you do. I don't care how many miles you walk. I don't care how much vitamins you take. I don't care how healthy a food you eat. Sin gonna kill you. Sin gonna kill you. You might not see it today because when you're young, your metabolism and your white blood and red blood, they still multiplying. You know what I'm saying? And your immune system is kind of strong, but sin gonna kill you. Sin gonna kill you. See, it has to kill you because it's a law. It's just like the law of gravity. What goes up comes down. It's just like the law of harvest. What you sow is what you reap, right? Seeds don't tell lies. Y'all know that? So if a man, God's not mocked, whatsoever man soweth, that shit also what? Now, if this stuff is cursed, let me come down here. If this stuff is cursed, Brother Black, if this stuff is cursed, right? The Bible said he cursed the ground, right? So the ground is cursed for thy sake, right? So a part of me is made from the dust of the ground, right? Right? From the ground I came, ground I return, right? So if the ground is cursed, when Cain offered a sacrifice from the Lord from the ground, God had no respect for the sacrifice, nor did he respect Cain. Because you don't offer nothing cursed to me. So Paul said, he said, I know that within me, that is within my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. Paul said, when I would to do good, evil is present. You understand? That I want to do, I can't do, and the thing that I want to do, I can't do it. I do the thing that I don't want to do, and the thing that I want to do, I can't do. So I see then that there's a law in my members. Now you got to watch this. This stuff, you don't know what it is. We play with it. We feed it. We pamper it. But this here is a ruthless killer. Your flesh is a ruthless killer. But Paul said that when I would to do good, evil is what? Present. I come equipped with this stuff. I got certain things in this. Adultery is here. Fornication is here. Witchcraft is here. Emulation, deceit, pride. You understand what I mean? Murder is here. I got all this stuff. I got witchcraft. All this stuff is right here. You ain't got to go far to get wrong. It's right here. It's right here. But Paul, this man done been caught up into the third heaven and heard and saw things unlawful to even utter. This Paul recognized that he had something about him that he needed help. Paul said there's a law in my members that wars against the law of my mind, not trying, but bringing me into captivity to the law of sin and death. But Paul come to the conclusion, he said, oh, wretched man that I am. See, we don't want to deal with this because you think you all that in a bag of cheese, but you don't know you rotten to the core. Like they used to sing a song, beauty's only skin deep, but ugly's to the bone. Y'all don't hear me what I'm saying. You got what I'm saying? But you're not listening to me, but you don't realize, see, what we're dealing with this thing here. We're feeding this thing. We're pampering this thing. We're making excuses for it. And then we make provision for it. Well, a vision is an insight. It's the focus. It's a dream, a goal. Pro means ahead with extra effort. See, I can tell you I play basketball. And I think I could play at one time basketball, but if Kobe Bryant or LeBron came up, then it would be a different thing. I don't play like that. Y'all don't hear me? Because them boys are what? Pros. Say amen. They pros. And so it's a difference now in me being a ball player and being a pro ball. That means they supersede. So what I'm saying, you don't supersede to make a vision, make preparations for this. We make provision. We literally make plans for this evil stuff. We make plans for this to satisfy. We make plans and appointments to satisfy this. And not knowing that this here is a thing that's going to take you to hell before you get to hell. Or you ain't seen it yet. See, you ain't got it yet. This stuff will take you to hell before you get to hell. It ain't nothing like having hell of stress. It ain't nothing like having hell of depression. It's nothing like having hell, so much hell till you feel like you want to die. This here stuff will get you in a relationship. You just got out of one that made you lose your cotton picking mind. And this stupid stuff will take you right back in another one. Just got finished coming out of the doctor and he telling you you can't keep smoking, you can't keep drinking, you can't. But this stupid stuff, soon as you leave the doctor's office, it's lighting up another joint, it's lighting up another cigarette, it's drinking another bottle of alcohol. This stupid stuff keep you crying late at night. It's a killer. And it's a cold-blooded boogie. You can be sitting with your best friend. And she leave you in the car to just go in the store. I'll be right back, but her boyfriend there. But this stuff is a killer. You looking all through the rear view mirror at her man. No good, well, this is your best friend, but your flesh don't care nothing about nothing. It'll kill a relationship. It'll tear a home up for a happy home. It'll go right in there and wreck that man and take that man from his family. It'll take that woman from her husband. It'll wreck it. It's ruthless. But Paul said, "O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from this body of this death?" Point to yourself and say, it's a killer. Point to yourself again and say, don't play with me. See, we play with this, but this stuff will kill you. It don't make no difference who you are, what you have. You got this man, you got this, I don't like calling names because, but you got that #1 comedian that all of us like. He in jail. Because of what? You got a very, very rich man, very rich producer. Very rich producer. All of a sudden, he done got crippled. All of a sudden, he's crippled. Because you got 25 women that have taken him to court because his flesh could not stop being perverted. Had money, had everything that he wanted, but he couldn't control the passion. Sex, more sex, more sex. Because this here, like the grave, is the ground. And the grave don't ever get enough. This here kill you. It'll take you back to the same man. It'll take you back to the same woman. Know that it just didn't cause you heartache. Know that it done made you almost feel like you won't even live no more. But this stupid stuff will take you. How many folk in jail because they couldn't control their flesh? I sat up here and a young man, this man, when he would go around his friends right here in New Orleans, his friends, killers, I know them boys ruthless. Killers, when he stepped on the scene, man, them boys just, man, they worshiped the ground this boy walked on. But he was in church. He was my leader of my youth. But this boy wasn't even in the game, but he grew up in the projects. But they respected him growing up. But he would come on the scene, and he had all them boys come to church. They done everything he said. Women, everybody. But all of a sudden, he messed around. Because you can't hang with sin and don't get sin on you. Now, you ain't got to hear me because I just talk. I be just talking. I'll be 66 in a few more months. I'm just talking. I'm not a puppy. I know I might move like a little tenderoni, you understand what I'm saying? But I'm not a puppy. Say amen. But this young man had such authority and such, man, I mean, he was in control. Looked like they did everything he said. But he got out there and didn't start selling little drugs. He didn't even start that way. He had so much authority when he got out there, he started selling, I mean, like, he became a millionaire. He became a little millionaire. This boy had Rolexes that cost every bit of $400,000. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. He'd come and he'd bring money to the church. I didn't ask no questions. Because he had businesses. He had a lot of businesses. I didn't ask no questions. You understand? You knew one thing about Brother McCoy? Brother McCoy don't ask no bunch of questions. I don't get in there and be asking you a bunch of questions. How many of y'all ever seen me just ask a bunch of questions? I don't be asking a bunch of questions. I don't ask you about your business. I don't ask about how much money you got. I don't ask nobody no questions. Because sometimes you learn too much. You learn enough just to get you killed. Say amen. Everybody's business, nobody's business. If they don't want to volunteer and tell you, you don't probe into folks' life. You don't be probing into folks' life. I don't just dabble in folks' business. But I don't ask them nothing. But I would preach to him and he would come. But one morning, and I tell him, I said, you can't live like that. You can't live like that. And out of all the people he respected Brother McCoy. Because he know that I'm not no fair weather booger. I love you when you're up. I love you when you're down. I love you when you're right. I love you when you're wrong. I might not like what you do. But one thing about me, I'll never condone. I don't care how much you give me. I ain't condoning nothing. I'm going to tell you the truth because your blood ain't going to be on my hand. Your blood ain't going to be on my hand. What is that on? Put it on 72. Your blood is not going to be on my hand. Listen to me. Watch. I'm going to preach in a minute. But I was telling him, I said, you can't live like that. Every time you come by the church, you got brand new whip, I mean, just, man, rag tops, everything. I mean, I said, you cannot live. And he come get the CDs and, and I told him you can't do it. About 4 o'clock in the morning, he said, man of God. Man of God, 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 man of God. I said, what? He said, man of God, I just killed 2. I said, what? He said, I just killed. Well, 2 was this girl. He said, I just killed 2. Well, I know he loved 2. But see, out there in the game, you do certain things, you see. You got a hollow point 9 millimeter. A hollow point. When that bullet comes out that thing, that bullet splits. Well, he telling her, you know how you got to do that thing. Girl, you keep on playing around. But she ain't thinking about it. She hits the gun, and it goes off. A piece of the bullet went out the window. I went to court after court with him. You can see it, or you can see all the different photos. You can see it was an accident. Piece went out the window, and another piece hit her in the top of the head. Piece went out the window, and a piece hit her in the top of the head. Killed her instantly. He said, I ain't going to do nothing till you tell me what to do. Now, when you don't call me, put that pressure on me. No, this is serious. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. See, people don't listen. See, we as human beings, we got a spirit of pride upon us, and can't nobody tell us nothing. Can't nobody tell us nothing. You don't know the grief. You don't know the pain. And sometimes I can see danger getting ready to happen. He said, I'm not going to do nothing until you tell me what to do. Me, what? Tell me. You're not going to do nothing until I tell you. He took her to the hospital and dropped her off because he was dirty and went and got rid of whatever he did and dropped her off. Died instantly. He said, I'm not going to do nothing until you tell me what to do. A couple of hours he called back, man, what did God tell you to do? What did God tell you? I said, man, I'm sitting up here. This is what. So I went in prayer, and God spoke to me. He said, tell him to go to his lawyer. Don't go to. He said, go to his lawyer. Wait till in the morning and go to his lawyer. And you and the lawyer go and turn yourself in. But he had that lawyer that used to be the attorney general in New Orleans. What's his name? Eddie Jordan. Eddie Jordan went down there. In 3 hours, he was out of jail. 3 hours. Out on the street for 2.5 years. They ain't even had a court case. And I kept telling him, you need to be saved. God done gave you a miracle. You need to be saved. He ain't got a court case yet. Well, he went to court, and they got this new attorney, this new this DA that was becoming prosecutor. It was time for election, so the mother of the woman got with these people and said, y'all got to do something. This man has been free for almost 3 years. So when they brought him back for a hearing, this persecutor said, we need to do something. He shouldn't be free. So the judge said, every court we have, he's been on time. He's not violated nothing. But he said, man, we can't just let him. He's taking somebody's life. They put him on an ankle monitor. I tell him that an ankle monitor is a transmitter. See, you ever notice that they told you that you had to get rid of your analog and you had to put a digital in your house? Do you ever notice sometime when you come in your room, you see a red light on your thing and you can't get it off? And you ain't cut nothing on. Sometime on your box, a red light comes on. Do you know that what can transmit a signal can send a signal? Do you know you don't have no privacy? Don't you know that your phone can cut off? You can shut it off, and they can still hear your conversation. They got a way that your phone can be off, and they can still have it where they can hear you. You're not aware that every modern car after, I think, 2013 comes with a GPS. Every car you have has a black box in it. Tell you how fast you're going, tell you where you are, when you are, tell you exactly what you're doing inside your car. Everybody's proud of OnStar and all this, right? You proud of that little Siri and Sarah, whoever that book is. Sarah cut the lights on. Elizabeth just closed the garage. Alexa, all right? I'm not getting the book in my house, you understand? That's too much information, you understand me? Just walking around, just talking, and she telling me, if the door's closed. How do you know my door's closed? I'm old school. That's too much information. This book is just sitting around the house knowing everything. Now, wait a minute. Y'all think that's good stuff? they all in your house. So I'm telling them now, you can't do this with that thing on there. That's not just to let them know where you are. That lets them hear where you are. Well, he said, I'm quitting, I'm through. But something happened. I told him, you know, I'm from the streets, plus I got an anointing. And I told him, I said, these people, I seen the people. I said, don't fool with them people. But not listening. He fooled with the people with an ankle bracelet on. Millions of dollars. Somebody wanted a deal for $270-something thousand. Millions. $270-something thousand. But you got millions. They had tricked him into doing this last deal. Went in there. I told him, if you get caught doing anything, you're going to be a kingpin. And you won't be able to get rid of the murder. Well, they caught him. Feds gave him 10. And then when he went to the state, he set up mad now because, you know, one of them girls out there got one of the cars. I ain't telling this business. I just want to tell you this because, see, I want you to understand you can't play with God. You can't play with him. When this girl's got one of the cars, but she don't want to do what he tell her to do. When you go to jail, ain't nobody scared of you no more. Nobody scared of you no more because you enjoy go to jail. So he called me. I'm going to act like they ain't scared of you. You know, they know what I do. I said, man, anybody scared of you and you're in jail? They know how much time you got? I said, be careful. He sets up on the phone in stupid is, stupid does. See, when you do stupid stuff, this stuff is stupid. Point to it and say, it's not only a killer, it's real stupid. So you on the phone in the jail knowing that these boogers record everything. They tell you. Tell the booger, I'll kill you if you don't take my car back. She recording it. So when you get ready to go to court, they plays this recording in the courtroom. That you already told somebody you're going to kill them. When the verdict came out, guilty as charged. Life without parole. Grew up as my child. Grew up as my son. I would drive for miles. See, I've been to prison, so I know what it feels like to get a visit. People don't know what I do as a pastor. I drove for miles to visit. They transferred him from down in Polar. They transferred him to South Carolina. When I went into this jail, it hurt me so bad, just a few miles from my house in Carolina. They had him with a jumpsuit on. The zipper was right here. Pay attention, I'm going to be through in a minute. But the crouch was right here. See, the crouch is right here, but the crouch was right here. The zipper up here. But the crouch is right here, meaning that this is how they have to walk. Because the clothes they wear won't let them have a full stride. Just to watch this man that walked in such authority, but we sat down. And I told him, I said, you know, I watched you, you know. I watched how much control you had over grown men. He said, yeah. I watched the control you had over the finest, most beautiful women. They did everything you said. I said, did you know what was so sad? You had control over all of them, men and women, but you had no control over yourself. You was able to tell everybody what to do, but you couldn't tell yourself what to do. Don't play with this. If God don't give him a miracle, he'll never go to another shopping mall. He'll never drive another car on a public street. He'll never get to go to a public theater. He'll never get to go to a public restaurant. He'll never get to go to the park and play with his grandchildren. He'll never get to go to another game. He'll never get to do this. Because this flesh is thinking so smart. Oh, I tell people all the time, but McCoy don't think I'm better than nobody. I just have been through something. And I'm scared of God. He did something to me in 2006. I'm scared of God. He can kill you and you won't even know you did. He can take your life and twist your life so far around and have you so depressed. Folk can be looking at you. You got this old false smile, but on the inside you screaming. He can have so many demons in your life to make you feel like you don't even know whether you're going to come. You don't even know how to tie your shoe. He sent his word and it healed. Be out, wait a minute. That little testimony right there, that brings tears to your eyes. I'm telling you, that ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. I mean, it make me cry because that ain't no joke. See, because I get phone calls. And it's, as much as I love and much compassion as I have, it hurts you when you're helpless, don't it? It hurts when you can't do nothing about a hopeless situation. No matter what I say now, it don't even matter. No matter what kind of wisdom I give right now, it don't even matter. This flesh is ruthless. I was thinking about that boy Antonio Brown today. I was talking to somebody. And I was thinking about this, one of the number one wide receivers in the business. But multi-million-dollar contracts that, I mean, all he just had the face, he had the charisma, had everything. I mean, this boy could have been, but this here, this crazy, stupid stuff that don't care nothing about nothing, wrecked that man's life. And how many other folk connected to him? Now they playing games with him. This flesh will make you forget where you come from. Don't ever forget where God brought you from. We love the moon, and it's pretty. You've been the moon, the full moon. You go out there, look at this guy. Oh, this romantic. This is nice. Woo, woo. That's a pretty moon there, right? But now the moon don't shine. The moon don't shine. What shines is the sun. The moon just reflects the light from the sun. So the moon gets glory. It gets praise for somebody else's light. You can get a diamond cut baguette, princess cut. You can get any kind of, all these different cuts, you know, the diamonds, you know what I'm saying? You get diamond cuts and all these cuts, you know what I'm saying? But when you go into the jewelry store, I'm closing it because it's it. Sometimes wisdom is just like grandma's scratch biscuits. But I'm telling you today, gonna stick to your ribs. You play with him if you want to. Young folk, play with him if you want to. You take that diamond, I don't care how many facets and cut and brilliantly it's been cut. When you go into that jewelry store, it's something about that jewelry store that's different than any other store. That jewelry store literally prides not so much in the jewelry as it does in the lighting. Because the jewelry ain't worth a dime without the light. I don't care how it's been cut. It ain't nothing without the shine. Don't let the devil ever make you forget where your shine come from. He told him, I'm going to bless you when you go into the promised land. But beware that you don't forget me. Am I helping somebody? It's all right. You just want somebody. Come on, saying then full of the devil, full of lust as a dog is, fleas meaner than a junkyard dog, hypocritical, two-faced, double-minded, disloyal. I told somebody today coming down the street, God ain't so much worried about your holiness. You know what God wants more from you than anything? Loyalty. Loyalty. God wants loyalty. Can he depend on you today? How many of us can he depend on right now? How many of us can he depend on to be a true soldier? Somebody that's 24/7, 365. How many of us is the same way that God can totally depend? Like I told one of my children, I said, listen, you don't get no points when you're around folk. You know how to act around people. You know when God really judge you? You know when you really get your credit? When you're by yourself. When you got that cell phone, that iPad, you understand what I mean? When you by yourself. When you get by yourself and ain't nobody around you, you understand what I mean? That's when God see who you really are. God want to be able to trust you with two things, trouble and money. If he can't trust you with them two things, you can't get nowhere with him. You may think you done went somewhere with him. But the Bible said, I'm not coming out. I done messed up, ruffled somebody's feather. Somebody's mad because I said what I said. It don't make no difference. Sometimes we overcome by the blood of the Lamb, by the words of somebody else's testimony. I said we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and sometimes by the words of somebody else's testimony. Somebody said, well, that's too much information. Well, you wouldn't have never know about David. Somebody told that. You wouldn't know about David, you understand, committing adultery. Somebody told that. And we still been telling it up until this day what David done, don't we? We told what Samson done, didn't we? Didn't we? You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to have an example, you understand, and show people this stuff is real. He sent his word. Now, one scripture said, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? How can he get together? How can he get delivered? It ain't no rehab. Rehab didn't help me. It wasn't no jail that helped me. It wasn't going to school. I tried to square up and go to school. I went to some little night school thing. Man, I went into school 2 weeks, and some little fast girl was trying to go to the school, and she looked at me fast. I looked at her fast, and we two fast boogers just jetted out that booger fast and went right to the fast lane. That was the end of my school because I couldn't change. Can a Ethiopian change his color? Can a leper change his spots? How can a man that is accustomed to doing evil turn and change his ways? He can't. You better hear me. So wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed thereunto the word of God. Am I helping anybody today? I'm going to help you in a minute because, see, this stuff here going to make you lose everything you got and don't care. And make you lose it on a stupid tip and make you mad with everybody because you did something wrong and because everybody ain't there to grab you. You mad with the world. Folk done told you what to do, and now you understand. When I went to jail, I didn't care about who didn't come visit me because they didn't do the crime. But man, when I get, I'm going to kill up everybody, man. Boogers ain't come see me, ain't wrote me, man. Man, I hate all of them. I hate my mama, hate them. What you hate them for? They didn't go in that bank with you, boogers. You crazy? They wasn't there when you sold that dough. I wasn't angry with nobody. Partners told me, said, I'll send your mama some money, but I ain't coming to that jail's house to see you. Not me being a criminal. I get up in that book in the door lock, and I never can get out. So I didn't expect him to come. Y'all don't hear me. I wasn't looking for Slick and them to come. Slick and them wasn't coming. Slick went by Mama's house and gave Mama some money. Mama, you go up there. I'm not going near that jailhouse. That's too prophetic. Ain't no sense in going nowhere before my time. I don't care if it's for a visit. He sent his word and did what to him? Now that word heal is connected to more than just physical. He didn't just heal them physically. He healed them. He saved them. He delivered them. That word means saved and delivered. Rescued. He sent his word and healed them and what? Now this comes through his word, healing, deliverance from their what? That word going to heal you from your destruction. Pride goeth before what? Well, you can't tell a proud booger nothing because they know it all. They know it all. Just proud and arrogant. Can't tell them nothing. You know what I mean? They're proud to make you get blind. It'll blind you, make you think can't nothing happen to you. He said, but he sent his word and healed them and delivered them from what? Their destruction. To the book of Jeremiah, chapter 20, 23 and 22. We're coming up out of here. 2 more scriptures after this, and I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be out of here. As soon as possible. I ain't in no hurry if you ain't. Say amen. We sat up there at the funeral. Booker said, they're trying to rush me. I said, shoot, she ain't in no hurry. She ain't in nobody's hurry. So this is all about her. So she just let her. We honoring her. She ain't in no hurry. Say amen. He said, but if they. Now say, but if they. Now these preachers, these folks that claiming to be such good preachers and reachers and teachers. But if they had stood in my what? If they'd have stood in my counsel. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of the sinner, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate. But if they'd have stood in my counsel, and had caused my people to hear what? Now, if they'd have stood in my counsel and made the people hear me instead of philosophizing and theorizing and you understand, eschatologizing and all that kind of, if they'd have stood in my counsel and caused the people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from what? Wait a minute now, the base. They're not turning, folk ain't turning. Folk ain't changing. Ain't no change. One of my sons in the gospel used to preach in New Orleans, used to sing a song. He said, I'm tired of being stirred and not changed. We get stirred, we get excited, but there's no change. There's no change. I don't want to come to church and no change. I wouldn't want to go to a hospital if I don't think that I can get well. I wouldn't want to go to the beauty shop if I couldn't get my hair done. I wouldn't go to a restaurant if I couldn't get full. Well, why would you come to church if you don't want completeness? You come to church for change. I'm coming here for change. There's no real, genuine change outside of God. There's no rehab. There's no program. There's no, you understand what I'm saying? He said, but if they had stood in my counsel, and it caused the people to hear my words. He said, then should they have turned them from their evil ways and from the evil of their what? If they'd have heard my words, if they'd have stood with my word, I sent my word and I healed. Wherewith shall the young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed thereunto the word of God. That is the only thing going to do it. To the book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 16, and one last scripture, I'm out of your way. I closed my Bible so you know you be getting ready to go home. He said, when even was come, they brought unto him many that were what? Now, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. You got a bunch of possessed folk. You got a bunch of folk possessed. Now, you know, I knew that I was possessed when I was in the street. I knew I was demonic possessed. I knew I had something upon me. Anytime I'm making thousands of dollars a day, and I'm sitting up here with my paralyzed and stroke victim mama that loved me, that made up through the mountains, and twice a month, you understand, to come see me and sit on the other side of that glass with a telephone in her hand, you understand, coming up through the mountains, coming to see me all them years. I'm talking about a mama that wouldn't even go to sleep when we would go to jail till she knew we was out of jail. This woman here that had a stroke and paralyzed on her whole right side, couldn't move her whole right side. She's sitting in a room, and I'm sitting with thousands, money all over the city, just hid places. You understand? I'm in the living room. Demon, watch this now. Watch. I'm in the living room, and she was in the bedroom. She was getting dressed, and she was talking to me through the door. She said, baby, they gave me $1,800 now. I was going to take the $1,800 and build a little ramp so I could get down the porch, you know. But I'm sitting in, I'm not going to have money everywhere. I'm sitting in the living room, but demon possessed, just demon possessed. And this devil's trying to tell me how to beat my own mother out of $1,800. Now, wait a minute, I'm talking about nothing. This is my mother. But I'm so demon possessed. I'm so doggish. I'm so down off in the streets. I got so many demons embedded in me. You understand? Every man for himself, God for us all. You understand? I'm not, this ain't got me. I'm so demon possessed that they don't even care about my own mama. You understand? You know how I kept from beating her? You know how I kept from beating my own mama? I had to get up and run out of the house to keep from beating my own mother. Out of a measly $1,800, you know. She died asking me, why did you leave that day? Why did you leave the house that day? She come out the bedroom, I was gone. If I'd have stayed there, I couldn't have helped myself because I was demon possessed. I had something that I had no control over. It would make me do stuff that I would regret, make me do stuff that I'd be riding down the road shaking my head sometimes. It made me do stuff for 2.5 straight years. After I got saved, I'd wake up in cold sweat. You understand what I'm saying? I had to pray to just keep my mind clear. It made me hurt people that loved me. It made me demon-possessed. If folk don't want to do it, you'll never get delivered until you know something's wrong with you. You think you normal, you get around a bunch of demon-possessed folk, they'll make you think you normal. You get around a bunch of folk full of the devil, a bunch of folk playing a hypocrite with God, 1 foot in, but they'll make you think you normal. There's some folk right now demon-possessed, and why you can't let it go. Why you can't turn it loose, and why you see yourself running back to it, and you know that this could take you to jail. You know this could cause you to get sick again. This know it can mess your mind up. Know it, and you can't help yourself. Anybody in here witness that? Lift your hand. That's all right. You don't want to do it. I know. Don't nobody want to feel like they got nothing wrong with it. We in the church, you know. Ain't no demon-possessed folk. You be surprised the people up in the house, you understand, still downloading porno. You be surprised the people up in the house still mean and nasty and murder. You'd be surprised the people that are so deceptive and still conniving in the house. Demons can't control them. This stuff will make you set up and lie. It'll make you cheat. It'll make you be deceptive. It'll make you perverted, just demon-possessed. But when the evening was come, look at somebody say when it got dark. When the evening was come, they brought unto him many that were what? Possessed with devils. And he cast out the spirits. Not no bottle of oil, not a prayer cloth, with a word. With a word. Now, you're going to hear me in a minute. You're going to hear me in a minute. You're going to hear me in a minute. You ain't going to be able to run. You're going to need this. Out of all the stuff. I'll never forget, I'm riding down the road and I by myself one day, and I knew I felt like I was getting ready to get killed. I was 20 years old. And I felt like I just knew I wasn't going to live to see 21. I told God, I said, man, don't let me die out here like this, man. I said, God, if you just let me make this certain amount of money, man, I'll quit. I'm talking to God. I'll never forget it. I said, God, if you just let me make this certain amount of money. I made that money and more. I made that amount of money and more and still couldn't change. Knowing that I'm getting, I'm seeing dreams and saw myself laying in caskets, but I can't stop. I saw myself laying in a casket. All my partners, if they ain't did life in prison, majority of them is dead and going on. I was a pallbearer 13 years old. That's why I don't like it. Beautiful as Denver, Colorado is. I hate to go there. Y'all know when you go with me, I jumps on a plane the next day and get up out of there. Just riding down the street just bothers me. But when evening was come, he brought unto them many that were possessed of the devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word, and did what? And in conjunction healed all that were what? Guess how he done it? With his word. Last scripture, and I'm through. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 8. 1 Timothy 1 and 8. Say that message, you know, everybody jumping and shouting and speaking in tongues. This ain't for that. Somebody here today somebody today, this is for you. Somebody today, this may be your last chance. Somebody today, this may be your last cause. You know how God is so smart? God is so smart that he'll come down on your level. You know, he talked fish talk to the fishermen. He talked farm talk to the farmers. Sometimes God will talk street talk to you just to get your attention. Sometimes God will talk on your level just to get your attention. Sometimes God will show you a modern day situation just to get your attention. How much stuff do we see around us every day, but we still can't wake up? How much stuff we see happening to people every day, folk losing their mind, folk committing suicide, folk dying, disease eating them up every day. Every day. How many young folk is killing themselves? How many young folks are they walking them in psych wards? How many young folk are they on medication? How many folk today just unhappy, tormented, can't get enough sex, can't get enough of man, can't get enough of woman, can't get enough of drugs, can't get enough. But this flesh, these demons, I'm through. But we know that the law, now this is what we don't want to hear. We know that the law is what? Look at somebody say it's good. But now remember, ain't none good but one, and that's who? So if the law is good, then the law must be associated with God. Because it can't be good and God's the only thing that's good. But the law is good if it be used what? Look at now, watch this. When God gave Moses the law, he put it in his hand. Now let me show you, I'm almost through. Moses could not keep the law because this flesh is wicked and it can't keep the law. But long as the law was around and you knew the consequences of the law, you made your flesh do everything it could while the law was around. But when the law left, you went right back to doing what you was doing because you didn't have the law in you. When the police would come, I don't care what kind of gangster you was, what kind of killer you were, how slick you were. When the police come, you would be throwing your dope, throwing your pistols, throwing everything, throwing your weed away, straightening up and everything, right? When the police came. You remember that? The booker taught me how to drive when I was drunk. Taught me how to drive. The old man taught me how to drive. He said, keep your top of your steering wheel in the middle of the road. In that black part, that little greasy part in the middle of the road, if you can just keep the steering wheel, the top of that steering wheel, right on that little black spot in the middle of the road, you'll never swerve. As drunk as I am, I know how to keep that thing right in there. I can be drunk, but if you keep the top of that steering wheel right in line with that little black part in the middle of the road, you'll never swerve. The police come, I'm high, I don't know who Cooter Brown was. I don't know who Cooter Brown was, but I don't even think Cooter Brown was high as I was. You understand, anytime you so high, you just don't know who you are. Just don't know who you are. You just there. But police come. I set up, I just set up a happy cock like this here. Police I know that police behind me, I straighten my hat up and bend the front part of it up. I bend the front part of my hat up like, and put both hands on the steering wheel. But wait a minute, that's because police coming. Police come, man, yes sir, yes sir. Yeah, real. Yeah. Wasn't no cussing and all that. No. Your conversation changed. You get really intellectual. Yes, sir, officer. Absolutely. It's good to have you here in the block. We need a patrol officer. Soon as that booger leave, you call him every name in the book, right? Because you didn't have nothing in you. But when the law came, you did everything the law did while it was there. The law is good. Now pay attention. If a man use it lawfully. I'm almost through. Next verse. Knowing this, say knowing this, that the law is not made for a right man. It ain't made for folks that's right. It ain't made for the law-abiding citizen. It's not made for the law-abiding citizen. It's not made for the righteous man. Now watch now. I told them the other day, they say a law has been done away with. Take the laws, just naturally, we ain't dealing with nothing. We ain't trying to get deep. Take all the laws out the land. No laws. No stop signs, no lines in the middle of the road. Folk can rape, they can molest, they can steal, they can kill. Take all the laws out the land and see what you'll have. Watch. You see the church? There's killers in the church. There's murders in the church. There's rapists in the church. Folk are getting raped spiritually. There's demons all in the church. Folk succubus and incubus. They got demons crawling all in the church. Stuff is out. Demons raping folks, sitting right up in church. Devils on you, messing with your body while you set up in the house of God. I'm talking demons just messing with your mind, just robbing and stealing your joy and stealing your peace and perversion, thieves and just everything. You can't even set your purse down in the house of God no more. You understand? Folk are going your purse sitting right in the house of God. Folk are still in that. Wait a minute, this stuff is in the house. Okay, respect, you ain't got to go to the club for somebody to take your husband. You come to church and they'll take him. You laughing. Nobody got to the club for nobody to take your wife. You come to church and the book will take him. Wait a minute, you got to hear me. You got to hear me. You ain't got to go to the street for booger to be slick. They slick up in the church. Boogers just slick as they could be, you understand? Playing games like they need money, just going through. Got more money, getting more money. You ain't got to go nowhere, sit in the house now. You ain't got to go on the street and find a liar. Boogers lie now just for nothing. It's all up in the house. Watch. I'm almost through. He said the law is made for the righteous man. I mean, it's not made for the right man. For the who? Lawless. Boogers don't have no law. Watch. And the who? Now watch, you're going to find yourself in this category. And now this is what happens when the law is not in effect. The disobedient. And for who? Ungodly. Folk that don't have no God. For who else? For who? Wait a minute, this for the law is for these people. For the unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers, murderers of mothers, manslayers. Next verse. For who? Church full of whores. Church full of whores and whoremongers. Church full of ungodly folk. You can't tell folk nothing head harder than a 10-cent soup bowl, man. Folk used to reverence God. You didn't bring your cell phone. You didn't sit up and be texting. You wouldn't be sitting up there playing video games and looking at ball games and stuff in the house of God. Folk lawless. Folk lawless. We reverence God. We had a respect for God. When God was speaking, we wanted to hear from the Lord because that one word could save you. That one word would spare you. That one word would spare you. You came to church because you knew I'm not coming to church just because I want to. I'm coming to church because I have to. I don't know about y'all. You come to church because this is a fad. This is Sunday. It's a religion. I'm coming because Mama said come. I'm coming because my wife said. I'm coming if don't nobody come. So the daughter didn't have to come. I'm going to be here. I got to be here because see this here word, this y'all don't hear me. This word right here for a person like me with all them demons. Now watch now. I done been demon possessed. I done been demon possessed to the third power. I'm talking about, listen, you talking about demon, I mean folk play with stuff. I'm talking about demon possessed to so powerful with demons in me that it brought fear. I didn't even have to carry pistols at times. I had such a demon up on me that brought fear upon people. Just my presence alone, just as little as I was, them demons up on me brought them other demons down. You know, them ruler spirits. That's how demon possessed I was. Well, let me tell you something. When them demons get cast out, they don't just go into dry places and lay down. They go into dry places seeking rest. And when they can't find rest, they go back to that house. And if they catch that house empty, swept, and garnished, and don't have no word in it, the Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost don't have no word in it, they go get 7 more spirits worse than themselves. And they come back and they enter into that house. Lift your hands if you can afford 7 more than what you had back in you. Can you take 7 more of them? Can you take 7 more? It's all right. Can you take 7 more? No. I want you to think about the demons that done cast out of murder spirits, lying spirits, perverted spirits. I'm talking about perversion to the third power. I mean, and these demons come back 7 times. 7 times. You're going to need a safeguard, don't you? So you see me, people like me. Maybe you might not have had a testimony like me. Maybe you've not been in and out of jail since you was 9 years old, and from one jail to another, from one prison to, maybe not. Maybe you didn't do what I did, but you're blessed. But those of us that had all that sin and all that stuff, you got all of them demons right behind you. You ain't forgot how to roll a joint. You ain't forgot how to chop that cocaine. You ain't forgot how to turn a trick. You ain't forgot how to be slick. You ain't forgot how to tote a pistol. You ain't forgot how, y'all don't hear me what I'm saying. You ain't forgot nothing. They right there. And they'll remind you right there. I had a dream one time, not long ago. And I was doing something real heinous that I used to do and saying in the dream. And I come up out of the dream saying, God forgive me, Lord, God forgive me. I didn't see it, but I heard it right by the bed say, we just want you to know we're still here. Demon playing with me in my dreams, giving me a signal in my dreams to let me know if you take one misstep, I'm going to get you. I don't care if you're in the pulpit. I don't care if you preach. I don't care how you play your guitar. I'm going to get you. See, we play with stuff. We play with people that's playing with stuff. We go by family members' house and friends' house playing with stuff. All it takes is one door opener to open the door. And you'll go back to doing everything. But see, some of us, we ain't got no more chances. Some of us, God done kept cancer off your body. God done kept heart attacks. God done kept strokes. God done kept insanity. God done kept suicide. I used to think that suicide was for weak folks. I always thought people commit suicide was weak, but until one day a spirit of suicide come upon me. Strong a man as I believe that I am, man, it take all God and some change to keep you from killing yourself. It's going to take God and some change to keep you from killing yourself. But he said, homongers, for homongers, that law is not for the right man, for these people, for them that defile themselves with mankind, homosexuals, lesbians, all this perversion, having sex with animals, having sex with dead bodies, and pornography, having sex with a television screen. Those that defile themselves with mankind, man-stealers, kidnappers, liars. This is what the law is for, liars. If folks tell a lie in a minute, man, when you start lying, your manhood's leaving you. That's why an old prostitute told me when I was 13 years old, little such and such, whatever you do, don't lie to a woman. If you ain't going to tell her the truth, don't tell her nothing. That woman catch you in that lie, that woman will lose respect for you. She might love you, but she ain't got that respect. Because every time you tell a lie, you chiseling on your manhood, because the original man was made in the truth. So every time you tell a lie, you cutting your truth down, and some folk done cut it down to nothing. They ain't got nobody's respect. You can say, I don't believe nothing they say. So you need to tell me your life is your word. So if don't nobody believe nothing you say, then don't nobody believe you. He said liars. For perjure person, they got lie. Perjure people, ain't that something? This the law is for these people that can lie, but they lie under oath. I swear I didn't do it. I swear on my mother's grave. I swear on the Bible. I swear on the Bible. These boogers lying, man. That's what the law is for, these perjure persons. And if there be any other thing that's contrary to sound doctrine. Next verse. according to the glorious gospel of the blessed God, which was committed to my trust. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? You playing with something. You come into that place where you can get delivered. We sitting on these instruments and playing with stuff. We got stuff in us, but you'll never get delivered until you open up and say, Lord, it's me. I need a miracle. I got to get delivered. I want you to get this adultery. I want you to, if you deliver me from me. Get this thing out of me. Get this thing off of me. Get this mean, nasty, cantankerous spirit. Get this vindictive demon. This spirit always telling me they better not be fooling me. When you're in the house of God, you in the house of God is supposed to teach you to overcome evil with good and render good for evil and agree with your adversary while you're in the way. You in the place where God is saying, give place to wrath, suffer the wrong, for vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. You in the place where he's saying, love your enemy, do good to them that hate you, pray for them that despite. But you sitting up there, they better be glad they caught me right now, because you understand. Wait a minute, they're in the church threatening. You're in the church. They know when to catch, but they better not have caught me yesterday. Yesterday, I thought you were saved yesterday. But we in the church, we get up off the altar with perversion in our heart. Get up preaching. Handle that. Man, it's a cold-blooded thing. I thought drug dealers was cold. I thought the murders, you understand, was cold. I thought folk, you understand, can sit up there and kill somebody and sit up there just and eat food like they ain't did nothing. I used to watch them and thought they was just cold and chilly. You know what I'm saying? But the coldest book is somebody can sit up and preach holiness. Get up and preach and tell you how to live, and they don't live a dime worth of nothing. Handle the word of God and don't have no conviction. How many people said, how many you coming to church? This is where your deliverance comes. You even lost your mind. Brother, you don't have no protection. Your only protection is in God. He sent his word and healed them. What it mean? He sent his word and delivered them. He saved them. Without the word of God, there's no protection. The word of God is your shield. It's your buckler. It's your stone. It's your protection. It's the only thing that'll keep it in spirit of insanity off of you. It's the only thing that'll keep a spirit of suicide out your mind. It's the only thing that'll keep you from taking a pistol, taking a knife, wanting to kill somebody. It's the only thing that'll back you up in the corner and keep your mind, your body, your soul. Is the word. The word is the only thing going to clean you. All the drug programs I was on, wasn't nothing able to deliver me until I heard a word, until I heard about a man from Galilee. You understand? They told me if you're living in sin, he'll set you free. I'm talking about that word Jesus. When I heard about this man, there's something crazy, something stupid, that died upon a cross and shed his blood at Calvary, paid a debt that he did not owe, because I owed a debt that I could not pay. This man that paid the price for me, that died on Calvary for me. You understand? When I heard that word, they say he's able to deliver me from the uttermost, from the guttermost all the way to the uttermost. When I heard that saying, that is there anything too hard for the Lord? When I heard that all things are possible unto him that will believe. When I heard that how he's able to lay the axe to the root of the tree. He's able to go not only forgive you for your sins and your trespasses and your hidden iniquities and your secret sins, but he's able, because I come out of a pimp whole family. I come out of a drug family. I come out of a family that our DNA was the streets, you understand? So I had some familiar spirits. I had something on me that got on me through nature, just naturally being around a family, a bunch of pimps and prostitutes and drug dealers. I had something, but this man is able to lay the axe to your root of your familiar spirits. You understand what I mean? I had something upon me. This man, listen, I'm riding down the street, all these demons upon me, and I heard a voice in the car with me on my way to do something awful, and I heard a voice say, he's mine. Another voice said, no, he's mine. Another voice said, he's mine. And then a voice got loud and said, no, he's mine. And when that happened, something jerked out of my body. You understand? I hadn't cried. I was almost 21 years old. I hadn't cried since I was 14 years old when my brother got when I was in the 4th grade, when my brother got killed in a gang fight. 4th grade now, remember now. That's the last time I cried. You understand? I broke down, tears began to roll down my face. And I began to weep and cry. And I began to say, God, what in the world do you want me to do? You understand what I mean? I got on the phone and called my sister. And I said, listen, she was a prostitute, but she had gotten saved. I said, Darryl, I said, what do I do? What in the world's wrong with me? She said, I've been praying for you. She said, they got a hit out on you on the streets. I've been praying for you to God to save you. I've been praying for God to save you. I said, I can't stop crying. She told me about a little woman running a revival right over in the hood, right on the street. And I told her I'll be there the next night. She called my mama. Mama's paralyzed, worried about her children, had a stroke. She told mama, she said, possible that mama Possum can get saved. She mama said, I won't believe it till I see it. I walked in that house that day, hallelujah, with tears rolling down my face. I said, Mama, I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry that the things that I've done to you. That woman took that left hand. She was so paralyzed that she couldn't cry. Even on her right side, only the tears would flow on the left side. And that woman lifted that left hand. And she said, God, you heard my cry. 7 o'clock that night, me and 3 prostitutes went to a little church. They sat on one side, I sat on the other. There's a woman from St. Croix, Virgin Island. They couldn't preach a word. I don't know if I heard anything the woman said. And at the end of the message, she said, does anybody want Jesus as their personal Savior? I'm sitting with a mink coat on, with a mink hat, diamond down. I stood up with tears rolling down my face. Them girls thought I was playing a game. When I wasn't playing a game, I was fed up, I was tired. I didn't want to die and go to hell. I didn't want the devil to take my soul. I was crying. I'll never forget that night. October the 9th, 1975. I cried like I've never cried. I thought about everybody that's in the grave. I thought about everybody that I messed their life up. I thought about everybody that I ruined. And I was calling on God, said, I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. They came and put their arms around me and said, son, do you believe that God forgiven you for your sin? I said, yes. Do you believe he washed them in the blood? I said, yes. They said, give God thanks, just praise him. And I went to saying, thank you, Jesus. But before long, I was back saying, Lord, I'm sorry, Lord, because of all the things that I've done. But after that night, October the 9th, 1975, I'm not looked back. I had that made up mind. I done been through the storm. I done been through the rain. But I never wanted to go back and sin. I never wanted to step foot back in. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And I never wanted to go back. I never wanted God to take his hands up off of me. I would cry out and say, Lord, no matter what you do, God, don't let me go. Lord, don't let me die like this. God, don't leave me like this. There's a position God can put you in. God can make you feel like he's 1,000,000 miles away. And I told God, I don't care how I feel. It ain't a feeling anyhow. I don't care what I see. Sometimes it ain't going to look like you're saved. It ain't going to feel like you're saved. But you got to believe you saved. You got to walk in that word and say he's a very present help in the time of trouble. You got to walk in that word and say, I'm the Lord that forgiveth all thine iniquity. Because the devil told me it was over. The devil told me I'd never get back to God. The devil told me I'd never walk again. If it had not been for the word of God, I'd have been on my way to a devil's hell. But that word came and healed me. That word came and delivered me. That word told me that every sin may be forgiven except the sin of blasphemy. I know I didn't blaspheme. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord. I don't care what demon it is. Some of you got demons in your life right now, taking your peace, taking your joy. You can't sleep at night without a drink. You can't go to bed without a pill. You can't lay down and be comfortable without some sex. You're knowing you're going to mess your life up. Sick as a dog. Infections everywhere. Disease everywhere. Unborn. You're a bunch of babies. Ain't got no daddy, no mama. You said to be ruining people's lives. God, today, I want you to bring your deliverance. And thank God for the word. God is able to pick you up. God is able to turn you around. God can do anything but fail. Somebody said he's a heart fixer. He's a mind regulator. He's a doctor in your sick room. He's a lawyer in your courtroom. I don't care how deep in sin you are. He said, Lord, I'm with you always, even until the end of the world. It
ain't nothing that God can't do. You looking at a walking miracle. You looking at a man that society gave up. Psychiatrists gave up. You understand what I mean? Counselors gave up. The principal gave up. Family members gave up. Thank God that he didn't give up. God saw something in me. God saw something in me. One man's trash is another man's treasure. God saw something in me. He said, I can use him. If he would listen, I called upon him one day. I said, Lord, I'd have been on drug programs. I'd have been in and out of jail. I got something in me. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Then I ran up my mama's house that day. I said, God, that's when I knew. God, you got to help me. Please, God, I can't control it no more. I can't control it. And when God brought me deliverance, I said, I'm not going back. You understand, when I got discouraged? When I got discouraged after I got saved, you understand, I was making some mistakes. I went through the Las Vegas, Nevada to the man that raised me in the streets. When I got out there, he had a bunch of counterfeit money, wanted me to go to exchange it. I told him, I'm not coming here to do that. He said, well, you got to make your mind up there. It's either that or this. I told him, I said, partner, listen, I've been respecting you like a father for years. I said, no disrespect to you. I said, I'm too smart for the street. I said, it don't take but one scripture. It don't take but one scripture for me to be too smart. And it's a scripture that says you're going to reap what you sow. You sow to the flesh, you shall of the flesh reap corruption. I said, I didn't come out here, you understand me, to get a made-up mind. My mind is made up. Only reason I'm out here because my mind is made up. You know what I need? I don't need a made-up mind. I only came out here to get strength. I only come out here to just see if I could get some strength. I know that I don't want to go in the street. If I could just find strength. God got up on that man in the street. He said, what done happened to you, baby? You done got knocked down. He said, but while you're down, get a good panoramic view of how you got knocked down. He said, get up and go back. Them folk, God speaking out of him. Go back to folk are waiting on you. When the stomach ain't falling, ain't the failure. I don't care what you're going through. That's all right. It ain't for everybody. This ain't for everybody. You sitting around here talking that foot like a dog. Got a double-minded spirit of schizophrenia. And that bipolar spirit in today, out tomorrow. You don't know whether you are saved or unsaved, living with one foot in the world and one foot in the church. And that's all right. God give it a raise up folk that's going to mean what they say and say what they mean. God give it a raise up warriors. I give us soldiers. You know what the world need? They need a true lighter. They need a true lighter. They need somebody that's the truth. They got playing with God. Preachers are playing with God. How about you think you can play with God? Because you got a bunch of jackleg preachers, a bunch of money hound dogs. They don't care nothing about your soul. They ain't going to preach holiness. They ain't going to tell you to put a difference between the clean and the unclean, the holy and the unholy. They ain't going to tell you to be ye holy for I'm holy. And they're going to tell you, you understand what I mean, to be not unequally yoked together with unbelief. They're not going to tell you that you got to live right. They're not going to tell you that the fearful and the unbeliever and home mothers and lies and fornicators, you understand what I mean? And all home mothers are going to have their part in the lake that burneth with fire and brimstone. They're not going to tell you, you understand, that because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. They're not going to tell you that after you come into the knowledge of the truth, if you willfully sin, every man of them will sacrifice. They're not going to tell you that God is a holy God. You understand what I'm saying? They're not going to tell you that you got to live right. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you about hell. They're going to tell you about money's coming. They're going to tell you to be all you can be. They're going to tell you to maximize your potential. When you come to a preacher today, you need to kill your potential. You need to kill that junk, because that stuff going to kill you eventually. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much fame you got. I don't care how big your name is. It don't matter today. You may not kill me today, but there's something that only God gonna be able to deliver. There's something that only God gonna be able to innovate. Your money can't buy a demon altar. Your money can't buy cancer altar. I've seen people dying on their last breath, calling upon the name of the Lord. Steve Jobs, understand, one of the Microsoft executives. This man had millions, but he couldn't pay the devil off of his life. He couldn't pay back health. You understand what I mean? Only thing gonna be able to take you tonight and turn your life around. You understand? There's nobody but God, nobody but Jesus. And whosoever shall call. Some of you like me today. You right there. You right there. Some of you right there. You understand what I mean? You ain't got much time. You understand what's sad? He said time and chance happening for every man. What's so cool about it? Folk been telling you this may be your last chance. But you sitting up here, but you still walking around in your body. But you still walking around here. You still on the praise field. You still on the usher board. You still on the pastor's aid. You still on your instrument. You still got your men in black outfit. You understand? It may have been your last day a year ago. Because anytime you can sit around with stuff in your life, and I'm preaching like I'm preaching right now. I'm sending a word that can break the chains and loose the shackles. I'm preaching a word that you willing to hold on and harbor these demons. You willing to hold on to your pet sin. You willing to hold on to the demons that's getting to take your soul to hell. If God done cast the devil out of heaven, you think God gonna let the devil come up? God let the devil back in heaven living in you. Hell wasn't made for me. It was made for the devil and his angels. But I'm not gonna let the devil take me to hell. You done took me through hell. I'm not going to hell. You done took me through hell. Could have lost my mind. You done took me through hell. Could have stressed myself out. You done took me through hell. Kept me up 3 and 4 nights in a row. Tormented in my mind with just one thought running back and forth. You done sent me through hell. But I'm not gonna let the devil take me to hell. When I got a right, when I got a way of escape, y'all don't kill me. Today I can call. Ain't no deliverance in the rehab. Ain't no deliverance in the program. Ain't no deliverance. You understand me? The only deliverance you gonna have is gonna be able to lay the axe to the root of it. But get the demon up out of here. Get the alcohol spirit. Get the cigarette. Get the drug spirit. Get the lust. Get that perversion. That homosexual demon. You can't play with that spirit. That lesbian demon. You can't play with it. That homemonger spirit. That pornography spirit. That masturbating spirit. That incubus spirit. You're not going to be able to play with them. You got to have a word. You're going to have something to break it off of you. God, today, get this stronghold off of me. It's had me since I was a child. It done had my mind. It done grew up with me. It's strong now, Lord. I can't even help myself, Lord. I don't want to do it no more. It's taking me places I don't want to go. It's making me lay down with women and men that I don't even want to be with no more. It's making me do stuff that I don't want to do. It's making me spend my rent money. It's making me spend my children's school money. God, get it off of me, Lord. Get this thing out of my mind. I'm up in the church, Lord, and still can't get delivered. You know why? Because you're not ready. But when you get tired, when you get to the point when you're tired of them demons wrecking your life, when you get tired of going in and out of the hospital, when you get tired of going in and out of drugs, God is standing right there with open arms saying, come under me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. How long are you going to reject me? How long you going to keep coming to church and I'm pleading with you? You ain't nothing. You are what you are because of me. Everything you are is because of me. In me you live. In me you move. In me you have your deal. It ain't nothing you got. If you drive in a car, I gave you the car. If you're living in the house, I gave you the house. If you got a degree, I gave you the ability. Whatever you got, promotion don't come from man. It comes from the Lord. God give men power to get wealth. You thinking it's you. It's God. God, whatever you do, take the money, take the house, take the woman, take the man, whatever you do, don't take your Holy Spirit away from me. I can live without a house. I can live without a car. I can live without money. But I can't live without you. I need the peace of mind. I need the joy divine. I need the love that lasts. Jesus! You gotta help me, Lord. You gotta help me, Lord. You gotta help me, Lord. You can set up in the church preaching with humongous spirits. Preaching playing and entertaining stuff. He'll set it here with mean and cantankerous spiritual, talking spiritual, two-faced spiritual. Like God don't see you. God see you, man. He see you. As soon as you get in trouble, you better make a vow. God, please, I need you, Jesus. There's going to be one day you're going to call upon him. And I'm going to say, listen, because you didn't really hear me. I'm preaching to you right now. I'm here using this preacher. Just jumped off an airplane. You don't know how tired his body is. But I'm using him to tell you how much I love you. I'm using him to tell you that I sent my own begotten son into the world to die for your sin. I'm using him to tell you how much I love you, to tell you how much I care. If this is what you want to do, you want to turn me away? How shall you escape if you neglect so great a salvation? I'm trying to give you a break. I'm trying to break the yoke. I'm trying to loose the chains. I'm trying to open the prison doors. We bound with lust. We bound with perversion. We bound with hatred. We bound with unforgiveness. But today I want to help you. You sit around. You can hear me preach and you feel like you're all right. No. While the preacher preaching, you know what I'm doing? I'm saying, Lord, shine the light. You know what I'm saying? Lord, search me, Lord. God, every man is right in his own life. Don't let me think I'm right when I'm wrong. Because the spirit is a lying spirit. It can be living inside of me and making me think I'm all right. I don't want nothing in me that's not like you, Lord. I don't want you just to forgive me. You got to cleanse me of all unrighteousness. I want you to get in me, Lord. Get this stuff out of me, Lord. I go to the altar. Get up 2 months later. I'm back doing it again. There's a reason for it. Because the action been laid. God laid. I want you to cut it out of me. I want you to cut it out of me. Cut the lust. Cut the pride. Cut the racism. Cut the hatred. Cut the vindictiveness. Get it off of me, Lord. Get this jealous spirit off of me. Get this spirit of pride. Pride won't let nobody take you nothing. Pride won't always be right. Pride won't humble itself. Pride won't say it's me, Lord. Pride can confess. If there's somebody today that said, bump that pride. God, today I'm messed up, Lord. There's somebody saying today, God, I'm messed up from the inside out, from the outside in. They don't sister me lie. I got my suit on. On the inside I'm messed up. They don't sister me lie. I got my dress pulled down to the ground. I'm messed up on the inside. They don't sister me lie. I'm up in the pulpit. I'm on my instrument. I'm messed up, Lord. It'll take a real man. It's going to take a real woman to be able to say, Lord, it ain't the preacher nor the deacon, but it's me, oh God, that stands underneath the prayer. These are the ones getting to get delivered. These are the ones getting to be set free. These are the ones that say, Lord, please, God, you got to help me. God, I'm weak, I'm humble, I'm fornicator, I'm doing something I shouldn't do. But these are the ones that are going to get delivered. Whosoever shall call, whosoever shall confess. Confession is made under salvation. I'm messed up, Lord. God, get it up out of me. I got a hatred in my heart toward my husband. I got a hatred toward my wife. I'm just a roommate. Get it out of me, Lord. God, please, Lord. Get the anger, get the bitterness. You need it today. You don't want a demon to creep up. You got a demon inside. This is too late. This is too dark to have something in you that can open the door for something bigger to come in. It's too late. It's too dark to have something in you that can open the door for something bigger to come in. When it come in, and you'll find yourself going places that you don't want to go. You'll be crying on your way to do it, crying while you're doing it, crying when you finish, crying. It's a sad thing to be crying and can't get a hold of God. It's sad when you're crying and can't get a breakthrough. I'm telling God today, don't let my crying be in vain. Don't let my praying be in vain. You ain't got to make me scream. You ain't got to do nothing to make me cry. You ain't got to kill another one of my children. You ain't got to make me sick again. You ain't got to let me see another demonic visitation. God, I'm crying on my own. I'm calling you on my own. I'm telling you on my own. I need you on my own. I'm telling you right now, I'm a preacher, Lord. Don't let the devil creep upon me. God, don't let them slide in me. And I'm not aware that it's there. God, please, Lord, please watch me. Send an angel. Send an angel, Lord, to keep me. Send an angel to protect me. Send an angel to deliver me.
Shall a young man cleanse his ways? You got that nasty demon on you and you right in the house, you speaking in tongues. Somebody said, I got the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues. No, you need the Holy Ghost with the evidence of living right. You need the Holy Ghost with the evidence of living right. You booking speaking in tongues full of the devil, cussing folk out, talking about everybody. Mean, nasty, two-faced. Somebody in here today. Somebody in this place today. There's a demon on you, won't even let you be happy in your own marriage. It's a sad thing when you can have money, have house, everything, and can't enjoy nothing. That's sad. You know how come I know it's sad? Because I done been to that point. I was so messed up that I had a brand new custom-made car. I had so many demons on me that I would jump out the car. Because them demons made me feel like I wasn't nothing. I was dirty. And I felt like I stole a car, like a person like in my condition wasn't supposed to be driving the car. I would get on the telephone and call somebody from the church to come pick me up. Because I was ashamed to drive my own car. Because I didn't feel like a person that was messed up like that supposed to be driving a car like this. I was so messed up. I would leave a car at a hotel because I was afraid to drive it, thinking that I would get stopped because they would look at me and say that I shouldn't be driving a car. I would call a cab. I couldn't even enjoy all them houses, and I'm sitting up in some little free black hotel somewhere hiding. These demons will make you hide. My children on my phone. They calling my phone, but I done cut the ringer off because these demons got me where I can't even talk to my children. And they on the other end, Daddy, please come home. Daddy, please. Daddy, please come home, Daddy. And these things won't even let me go home. You think I'm joking? Stand on your feet. I'm through with it. I'm through with it. You think it's a joke, right? I'm through with it. I'm through with it. I didn't preach. I learned now. I'm learning how to preach to me. I'm learning how to preach to me. See, it don't make no difference, no education. If folk going to school getting degrees, killing themselves. Millionaires, billionaires killing themselves. These demons is on the loose. See, when you take this law out of the church is the beacon of light. It's the balance. This is the light where the city set up on a hill that cannot be hid. When you take this law out the church, there's no rules. There's no regulations. Everybody going buck wild now. There is no protesters. There is no standards. There is nobody to hold up the standard. So everybody's doing that which is right in their own eyes. Folk dressing like they want it, acting like they want it. There's no rules no more. You hanging with somebody and you call yourself riding with them to church, and they steady transferring demons on you. You get out the car with them and wonder why your head hurt. Wonder why you want to go get a drink. Wonder why you want to smoke a cigarette. Wonder why you want to look at porno. Wonder why you got to have a man. But you just got out the car or just let somebody out your car and don't know they dropped something off in there. But they were speaking in tongues and you thought they was all the way saved and didn't know because they ain't going to confess it. Them lying spirits ain't going to let folk be real. It ain't going to let them be real. It's all right. It ain't going to let them be real. It ain't going to let them be real until it's almost too late. It ain't going to let them be real until they get to that point. Well, I got you. See, what you don't ever want to do is get to that point in your life where you get to the point of the place of no return. Out of all that I done. One day I was sitting up and I was so messed up. And I was crying to God and I told him I'm so messed up. I failed you and I can't never get back. Them demons and people was telling me I'm so messed up. They told me I would never get back to God, and the devil telling me I'm messed up. And I told God, I said, Lord, look like I ain't never going to come out of this. And the Lord spoke to me in a sweet, small voice. He said, son, wherever there's a way in, there's always a way out. Today you can come out. Today you can come out. When we was little in our own eyes, when we used to cry, when we used to weep on them altars, when we used to weep on those altars, when we was talking to God, you said, Lord, save me. Save my babies. When we was crying a little, just, Lord, nothing. I tell God every day, Lord, keep me little. I don't care what people think about me, how big they keep me little in my own eyes. Keep me always realizing, Lord, I can't afford to let what happened to me happen to me again. I can't do it. I know I'll lose my mind. I know I'm not going to make it. I know I'm not going to make it next time. I know that. I can't go through that no more. When I woke up one day, sat up there in a cage. This is Darryl McCoy. I'm sitting up in a cage in Savannah, Georgia. In a cage in a psychiatric ward. Losing my mind, playing with demons. Like you act like that can't happen to you. They don't know, do they? They don't have a clue, do they? You won't know until it happens. But what's so sad about when it happens, it might not unhappen. See me? Like Big Brother Frederick say, I crawl out the grave. I crawl out the grave to come and warn you and tell you, you don't want to play with two things. That's yourself and the devil. Believe me. You think I'm just sitting up here preaching? Think I'm just sitting up here preaching? Touch that woman right there on the shoulder. You didn't come here accidentally today. There's a need. There's a need. There's a need. There's a need. See, they're looking at you, but they don't know. You done been through the fire. You done been through the fire. You've had some crying days here recently. You've had some days recently just like, God, please, you got to help me. Sometimes people can die in a family, but then people die back to back. You know what I'm talking about? People dying back to back. If it ain't been one grief, it's been another grief. If it ain't been one pain, it's been another pain. On top of the big heartache that you had a few years ago, on top of that big heartbreak, when you gave, see, you're one of them that love real, real hard. Real, real hard. See, some folk love, but some folk fall in love. You're one of those, when you love, you fall in love, you're loyal to just have your heart broken in 1,500 different pieces. It affected your physical body, messed with your nerves. It's all down in your stomach. It's all in your lower part of your belly. But God got a miracle with your name on it today. I want you to lift your hands toward heaven. Stretch your hands toward her. Father, I want you to touch this one. God, these tears rolling down this woman's face, Jesus. God, she done been through many, many things. And I pray, God, for such peace and direction. She needs your direction. It's a decision that she must make, and she needs strength to make this decision. God, this decision may hurt her, Jesus, but it'll hurt her worse if she don't make it, Jesus. Give her strength from the crown of her head to the sole of her feet. And this thing that's disrupting her stomach, and all down in the female tract of her body, I ask for a divine miracle. I rebuke you, Satan. Every disorder, make this woman whole. While I have my hand on your head, there's these striking headaches come sometime, and God give you such peace. They call themselves working something, but you didn't come to the right place. God done broke that. He done disrupted his activity. This is it. Every time you get your hands on something that look like the bottom got to fall out of it, every time it look like you got something, look like it just goes up in flame. But that's the end of that today. You start a new leaf. You done turn a new leaf in life today. God done broke that. God done broke that old familiar thing. That old stuff that run down through ancestry. God give you a miracle today. There'll be peace in your mind. You ain't going to be waking up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep. You're going to have your sleep be broken. Sometimes you be so rest broken, but you ain't going to have that no more. Standing on your feet all over this building. All over this building. It's all right. I know the hour's far spent. I know the hour's far spent. Some we playing with. We playing with. We playing with. If you one of them in here today, now you can walk on out to church because this is when most folk walk out because it don't mean nothing to you. But I'm only preaching to those that know his voice. Everybody don't belong to him. And it's sad to be up in the church and don't belong to him. And it's sad to come to church and can't come to God. And it's sad to be right up in the house and hear a word like that and can't feel no conviction. And it's sad to be just operating, just be in here operating, but ain't with it. Get on Facebook and look at Trump in his eye. Get on Facebook and watch these folks. Watch them. Watch how their lives be. But they set up under this kind of word and no cry. No nothing. But you looking at a man. So say, Helen, I'm preaching to me. Last 30 days I've been preaching to me. I've been saying if don't nobody want to hear this, I'm going to hear it. I don't care who don't want to hear it. I got to hear it. I got to have it. That's my only healing. That's my only deliverance is his word. Only way I keep these spirits off me, I got to have his spirit in me. If they would have heard his word, if they'd have stood in his counsel, they would have turned men from the evil. If preachers would have preached his word, it ain't going to let a man be comfortable in perversion. It ain't going to let a man be comfortable in adultery. It ain't going to let a man be comfortable with pornography. It ain't going to let a man be comfortable mistreating his family. It ain't going to let a man be comfortable. It's going to make a man cry out that belong to God. But there's some folk, their conscience is seared. They done got so proud and so arrogant, they don't know what it means to cry. But I'll tell you what. There's going to be bombs going to be dropped in this nation. Lord spoke to me. That's all right. I told you it was going to be war for the end of the year. Did it happen? They going over there fight, right? They had an airstrike on Israel the other day. We can't sit back and let them bomb Israel. We're going into war. They just sent 35 more hundred. Bombs are going to drop in America. There's going to be a day. They go into these big arenas. It's almost going to be a thing of the past. People are going to be scared. Terrorism is going to be strategic. Somebody said, why you have to prophesy stuff like that? See what they did to me when I prophesied about Katrina? That's what they always do to me. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know why them soldiers is down in New Orleans? Do you know why them soldiers is going into New Orleans? You don't know, do you? You don't know, do you? Because New Orleans is a finance center. New Orleans is where your oil and the controller for your oil. They know that they got them folk over there in Panama. They know that they got them folk over there in Mexico. And they got stuff pointed toward New Orleans and Houston. They sending troops down into New Orleans right now. If Brother Stockman was here, he'd tell you how that they was training them for what's getting ready to happen. Folk better go to praying. I saw the Lord show me, I saw bombs dropping. I saw folks so scared they couldn't even run. Petrified. Because ain't nothing like that ever happened in America. I know you don't believe nothing I say. It's going to set the stage for a man like Darryl McCoy. I won't have a church big enough. I will not have a church big enough. They're going to be running, trying to get peace. They're going to be running. Such an anointing for healing and deliverance. Such an anointing for healing and deliverance. I mean, that stuff like your baby, that's going to be nothing in just a minute. I want God, I just be begging God, please. When you call me and you tell me my baby's sick, you don't know what I go through. And I'll be on the other end, please, God, do something. Don't let these people keep slipping through my hands, Jesus. And I know preachers ain't got nobody just want to just be a preacher. I don't want to just be no preacher. Deacon McCoy, I don't want to just be a preacher. Mr. Timms, I want to be able to see a man like you walk in a church and in a matter of days, your life changed. They can't imagine where you were just a couple of years ago. They can't imagine where you were a couple of years ago. I want a word that would change a man and make a man want more of God. Not just be a preacher, but be a converter. I want a man to change. I get tired of you calling me, telling me they got to open up her brain. They got to go inside her head. I don't like that. But it's getting ready to happen. It ain't time yet, but it is almost now. This is 220. And only double numbers come on the calendar every century. 1919, 2020. This is doubles. This is doubles. This is doubles. This is doubles. Every head bow. And all of you that got a special miracle, I'm not playing with you. You got a special miracle. I bet you better run to these altars. And I bet you better stay right there with your proud self. You better run to these altars. You better run to these altars. You better run. You better run. You better run. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your status quo is. You got stuff. Some of you get ready to go to court like you ain't never seen. Some of you going to go to court and you ain't going to come out right. Some of you get ready to go to the doctor and you get ready to get diagnosis and reports that you ain't going to want, but you ain't got to do it today. You can call upon it. And God will turn the hand. God will change it. If you call upon him, God will deliver. You call upon him, God will turn. God will change minds. God will change. He'll change motives. If you cry out to God, you tell God I've been messed up. You tell God I ain't been right. You tell God I've been lying. You tell God today I ain't lying. I need you to get this off of me. God, I'm a homemonger. I'm up in the church. I got stuff crawling up in me, Lord. I wonder why stuff is changing my attitude, changing my dress, Lord. I'm slowly slipping back into a slump, Lord. I'm slowly finding myself being able to stay away from church, Lord, without any kind of conviction. I'm slowly finding myself being able to listen to certain type of music and look at certain type of movies without conviction, Lord. I'm slowly finding myself hanging with certain people on the job that I would never hang with. I'm slowly finding myself saying stuff that I wouldn't even say. Call upon it. Cry out, woman. Cry out, young man. Call upon him. I know today you may think you got a bunch of time. There ain't no such thing. Used to be a time you could say this ain't going to happen to me. You can't say that no more because stuff is happening now. We grew up thinking that nothing could happen to us. We couldn't die like that. You can die like Eddie Shamor, but you better cry out to God. You better call upon the one that can help you. You better call upon the one that can deliver you. You better call upon the one that can heal you. You better call upon the one that can lay the axe to the root of the tree. Your money, your fame, your name can't help you. God will make you bow down and scream. Call upon him, you'll find out God ain't nobody, ain't nothing, Lord. God, I need you, Jesus. Please, God. Please, Jesus. Don't let me go down. If I go down, my babies are going down with me, Lord. Don't let me take an innocent soul with me, Lord. Deliver me, God, please. Please, God, don't let me go down. There's church people all over the world that's looking at me, Lord. Looking at me trying to hold on. God, don't let me let nobody else down, Lord. Don't let me disappoint nobody else, Lord. Don't let me confuse nobody else, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. I can't help myself, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Somebody better cry out. You better mourn like a dove. You better cry now while the blood is running
will. You better cry now, preacher. Anytime you can hear this word and don't have no conviction, cry, cry.
Call upon it. You better call upon it. You better call upon it. You better cry out to him with your whole heart. You don't even hear people crying no more. Pride ain't gonna let you take up a lamentation. Don't you think you all right? You sit around, you keep on operating. You said paycheck ain't gonna hide you. You better cry out to God. Your position and your little title and on your name ain't gonna hide you. You better cry out to God. Them demons don't care that about your position. Them demons don't care that about your degrees. Them demons don't care that about your bank book. Them demons will kill you. You better cry out to God. Tell God to have mercy. Some of you, the God been pleading with you. I'm not the first one that God done told you. Get it right. You better cry out to God. When it come before destruction, I've been crying out to you. I've been pleading with you. I've been stretching my hand out all day long. You done had car wreck after car wreck. Instead of giving you a sign, you done got sick and I done healed you. You done went through hell and I done brought you out. I'm trying to give you a sign and let you know that the devil laying dead to kill you. Call upon me. Cry out to me, please. Call upon me. I'm willing to deliver you. In fact about it, I want to deliver you. I want to heal you. Call on me. Call on me. Give me something for my children, Lord. Give me something for my babies, Lord. Put something upon me for my grandbabies, Lord. Please, Lord, put a yoke break on me. Put a door on me, Lord. Help me, Lord, to be a blessing, Lord. Call upon the crowd, mama. Cry. Cry, mama. Cry for your baby. Some of you got a child somewhere and the devil trying to kill him. Call him, Jesus. Oh, let the devil kill my baby. Jesus. I'll get this spirit up off of me. I ain't told mama, I ain't told dad or nobody. But this spirit of depression is so bad. There ain't no sex can take it off. There ain't no man, no woman. God, I'm still. God, I'm unhappy on the inside, Lord. On the outside, I got this facade like it's going on and it's all right. But on the inside, I'm crying and I'm screaming. And I wish somebody could hear me, Lord. On the inside, I'm saying, Lord, I'm tired. Lord, I don't even know what to do. On the inside, I'm saying, Lord, please don't let me die like this. God, nobody on the outside, they can hear me. They can't hear me, Lord. They just look at me smiling, but they can't hear me, Lord. Let somebody hear me, Lord. Let somebody see on the inside that I'm screaming, help me. That I'm screaming, deliver me, Lord. That I'm screaming, don't let me die like this. Call upon him, call upon him, call upon him, Jesus. Jesus! God in heaven, Lord. Please, I can't keep going like this. God, you got to deliver your people, Lord. God, don't let that devil open the door, Lord. Don't let them demons come up in there, Lord. God, I'm dealing with something small, but God, today I want to be delivered with a small thing. Because it's the small fox that spoiled the vine, Lord. God, that little leaven delivers the whole lump, Lord. God, don't let this little insignificant demon on the inside that I think ain't nothing wrong with it, God. Deliver me from it before it opens up a door, Lord. And let them big boys in and take everything I got, Lord. Take my marriage, take my mind, take my health, Lord. Take my wealth, God, please, Lord. Please, Lord, don't let the demons run up on me, Jesus. Please, Jesus, I'm begging you, Jesus. I'm urging you. I'm beseeching you, Jesus. Please, please, please. Please don't let me lose my cry, Lord. Please. Young man, don't lose your cry. Don't let that pride take that cry. You know, when you by yourself, Lord, if I thought killing myself would be right, I'd have done it a long time ago. Young woman, call upon him and tell him, Lord, don't let me die like a fool. Don't let me die like a fool. God, please help my mind. I can't even sleep at night. Jesus, help me, help me. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Father, we thank you today. I know what you told me to do. I preached like you told me to preach. I gave my all. I showed them the only way they're going to get delivered is through your word. I showed them the only way they're going to get peace is through your word. I showed them the only way they're going to get these yokes broke off of them is through your word, Jesus. If they don't take heed, they never get cleansed, Jesus. God, don't leave me like this, Jesus. Please don't leave me like this. Father, I thank you standing on your feet. I'm through. Standing on your feet. With your head bowed and your eyes closed, Father. As they stand, Lord. I didn't know how you was going to preach this word, Jesus. I didn't know what you was going to do. God, you gave them a modern testimony for going to get caught. They don't know they're playing with the wrong thing, Jesus. You told me years ago you ain't nothing to play with, Jesus. You showed me you ain't nothing to play with, Lord. You showed me you created a player for them to play with, and they don't even know. They think they're dealing with God, and they're dealing with something else that they can't even imagine what it is. They playing with something that they can't even imagine what it is, Jesus. Please help me, please, please, Jesus. Don't let my preaching be in vain. God, I know they ain't seen what I've seen. They ain't been through what I've been through yet, Lord. But please help them if they go through it. Help them and give them a chance, Jesus. If they got to go through it, Lord, please be with them, Jesus, like you was with me, Jesus. Because I've seen people go through what I've gone through and never come out, Jesus. I pray your blessings upon your people. As you get ready to walk back to your seat, go back to your seat saying, Lord, please, I need you. Lord, I need you. Please, Lord, I need